people here. Thanks for clicking and tuning in. So today's video is going to be a bit different to the usual format. If you haven't seen the Q&As that we have on the channel, definitely do check them out. Featured some really cool people working in the health sciences who've given insightful conversations about their careers, tips, advice, as well as the research that they're doing. You can also check out TheLabSA.com, where we have even more Q&As and articles about the health sciences. We've featured students, we've featured other professionals, from clinical trial assistants to research nurses. So you can definitely have a look on there. But for now, we get into the video. So one thing that I absolutely love to do is listen to podcasts, and I think I got into that probably last year. And yeah, I'm listening to following a few shows, and then now I think there's just so many that I listen to. So I thought, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I shared my top 6 science podcasts that I think every science enthusiast would really enjoy. Always think they're just really fun, and at the same time you're learning a lot, and there's a whole host of great information on there. So let's get started. So the first two that I really like to listen to are both hosted by TED. So the first is TED Talks Daily, and the second is TED Health. So in the signature TED Talk style, it's basically talks on the platform that are given by the world thinkers and global thinkers and innovators, and just amazing people with amazing solutions or ideas, or with critical ways of looking at different challenges that we're facing in society. So TED Talks Daily is very broad in that it covers many different fields and aspects, and there's a whole host of people that come on there. Also, TED Health is obviously more specific to the health space, so still having innovators, but this time more specific to the health space, talking about basically their research, any innovations, as well as posing critical questions about the way that health systems are organized, for example, or how healthcare is delivered, and things like that. So I've always loved listening to and watching TED Talks on YouTube. So this is super cool that there's also a podcast platform where you're on the go and you can just listen anytime, and there's always something new to learn, something exciting to learn. So that's why I love those two. So that's TED Talks Daily and TED Health. All right, on to the next one. So the next one is Science Weekly, and that's hosted by The Guardian. So I'm sure we all know The Guardian is a major news platform. So Science Weekly is sort of their podcast where they look specifically at news related to science. And what I really like about it is that it's basically like experts giving in-depth analysis and being interviewed and giving really great information about the trends and big news stories related to the sciences that are happening at the moment. Just recently there was a really cool podcast episode on Science Weekly about the malaria vaccine, and basically talking about how why it's been so challenging for the malaria vaccine to be developed, and basically what it means now to have the vaccine, and all sorts of things related to that, and diving into the studies that were done. It actually took such a long time, and even now obviously still continuing to monitor and look at how it's gonna take effect and work, and hopefully eradicate malaria altogether. So another really cool one is Discovery, and this one is hosted by BBC World Service. So how they describe it is an exploration of the world of science, basically, which is really cool, because they look into things of the past, the present, the future, the things that are happening now, and how they might impact the future, and things they're learning about the past, things that we're learning about the past as well. And of course, this one is not just specific to health sciences, but all the different disciplines within the sciences. So yeah, a really cool one, an awesome episode that I've recently listened to was about COVID-19, of course, and how this pandemic and vaccine development, and how we've been able to sort of change how things are done, or improve upon how things are done in terms of vaccine development, and how that legacy will probably influence the future of the development of other vaccines as well. So a really great podcast that you can definitely check out. That one is Discovery. So the last two are really cool because they're specific to Africa and science in the African context. And I only recently discovered them actually, and it was because I was looking for something that, a podcast that deals specifically with science and issues within the African continent, or South Africa specifically. Um, and yeah, just something that would be relatable to the issues that are currently within our continent. So yeah, the first one is called Africa Science Focus, which is hosted by scidev.net. It's really cool. They look into how different solutions, using science, using innovation, using changes to systems, are being applied to the challenges and issues specific to the African continent. Um, Also, some of the gaps that are there, maybe that science within the continent still needs to meet. Things like translational research, so making sure that what you're actually researching will actually have benefits specific to the African community. So that one is really cool. There's a wonderful episode about how microplastics could possibly be, causing increases in fungal infections within sub-Saharan Africa, I believe. So that one is really cool. I'll probably also link that episode if you want to have a listen. But yeah, Africa Science Focus is really awesome. I'd highly recommend that you guys listen to that one. And then last but certainly not least is the Root of the Science podcast, which is hosted by Anne Chisa. I believe she's a PhD candidate in crop science. And she started the podcast to basically showcase STEM, to showcase science, technology, engineering, mathematics, that whole space, and the students and young and up and coming researchers within that space. And these are people from our continent who are studying, working, researching all over the globe. And she features them, and they just discuss their whole journeys, how they got into science, what inspired them to get into the field, the advice they have. And when you listen to it, it's so relatable because you see some similarities in their experiences and what you have. You also, maybe someone who's done BHSC or BSc degree, or someone who's thinking of pursuing postgrad, so things like honors, masters, PhD. It's really nice and refreshing to hear them speak about their experiences, give advice, and also just show the different opportunities that are out there for us to grab a hold of. So definitely check that one out. It's very inspiring. A lot of cool people on there. So there's like a ton of episodes that she's done already, so it's been nice to go through all of those. So yeah, definitely do check out the Root of the Science podcast. And that's about it. That is my top 6. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you guys will be giving them a listen, and hopefully you will find your new favorite on there soon. If you do have other podcast shows that you listen to and you think are really cool, even if they're not related to science, definitely share, definitely comment, and yeah, we'll give them a listen. There are also some really cool videos on the channel, so you can check that out if you're new and you haven't watched. You can also visit TheLabSA.com. We've got cool articles, cool Q&As with students and people working in the health sciences. So definitely head on over there, but I'll see you soon.